everybody, my name is Sana and welcome to my channel. In this video, I want to vlog my experience reading the second book of the Shatter Me series, which is Unravel Me. Now, the first book of the Shatter Me series, if you've seen my previous vlogs, I finished reading like about 2 years ago. And I've had like the box set of this series ever since. And I've just been kind of like in a way mood reading books that kind of like have been sticking out to me, so that's why I never got to the second book of the series. But I did finally get in the mood to read this book. I don't know, I was reading The Final Gambit and then I was like, you know what, I really want to read the next books in the Shatter Me series, so then I decided to go ahead and pick this book up next. I am a slow reader. I will let you know this vlog will be over the course of many days, aside from the fact that I am a college student or a uni student. I am in IT courses right now, which do take like a lot of time out of my schedule, and the week that I'm reading this book I have midterms. So you can imagine how much no time I have to read this book. But I was able to read about maybe like 70 to 80 pages last night. I am currently on page 90 of the book, and I have reached chapter 18. I have to say that I love, and I mean love, when books have short chapters. I cannot stand when books have big chapters because it feels to me like I lose my focus trying to read books that have really long chapters. Like I get lost in the chapter. For me, like when a chapter is short, it kind of like lets me like refresh, and then I'm like, okay, so what happened in this chapter? And if the chapter is too long, when I try to like think about what happened in the chapter, I'm like, wait, like I forgot halfway through what happened. And that might just be like a book not capturing my attention, or it might just be like, honestly, my attention span is gone. So the reason why I talk about this, and I'm gonna try to keep like this review spoiler free, and if I do end up talking about anything that happens in the book, I will give you a spoiler warning. Chapter 9 is literally just 1 page long front to back, and I loved that. Like I said, I'm able to keep my attention span on a book better when it has like short chapters. This might be a little bit of a spoiler, so if you haven't read the book, I would say go ahead and kind of like skip this part. But from what I've read so far in the book, I am loving it. I am also really confused about what's going on between Juliet and Adam's like relationship. I have to be honest, Juliet is kind of pissing me off because I know this girl has mental trauma. I know that she has been through the ringer. I know everything that she has gone through from the first book, but the fact that this woman literally tore through a concrete / steel door in the first book, concrete, you know, when she was trying to get at Warner, and then the steel door to get to Adam, and she still believes that she's weak and that she still believes that she's not dangerous. Like, girl, please, like, I'm gonna need you to man up. First of all, that the world needs you. I don't know exactly how the world needs you yet, aside from the fact that she has the power of literal destruction in her hands. The fact that she can't get over that mental block, that she's like, you know, not dangerous, that she's not powerful. Girl, you're probably the most powerful person in this universe. Now, I love so far Kenji, because Kenji is kind of like the lucky go happy person in like the series, where he's trying to make everybody laugh even though like their situation is really dire, and he's trying to just make light of things. And the fact that Kenji had a moment where he had to set her straight and be like another person that is not his persona that we were presented with, it really resonated with me. Like the fact that he was literally like, you need to like realize that you are dangerous, you need to realize that you are powerful, and you need to get your shit together because we can't keep dealing with this. Like, we need you to either step up, and if you don't want to step up, say it now so that we stop wasting resources on you. This paragraph where Kenji kind of goes in on Julia after she does some things. No one knows what you can do yet, not even you, but you keep trying to act like what you're capable of isn't a big deal, and it's not helping anything. You need to stop trying to pretend you're not dangerous. Kenji, set her straight. Set this woman straight, because the fact that she's sitting here like, I'm not dangerous, like, yeah, okay, but we get it, you don't want to hurt anybody, nobody does, but you're dangerous, and you need to accept that so that you can get over your mental block and start being the strong female main character we need. Tell me why I'm reading this book right now, right? I'm on page 146, also warning, spoilers ahead. But Kenji, I mean, I had praised him earlier for going in on Juliet and trying to set her right, or set her straight. He finally fully went in on her again, and I am here for it, because this is what Juliet needs so that she can have that character growth. Because I was saying, I'm tired of her literally having a whole pity party for herself. And when he says, your parents hate you, and it's so hard, but you have to wear gloves for the rest of your life because you kill people when you touch them. Who gives a shit? Kenji? Oh my god. And then when he literally tells her, as far as I can tell, you've got food in your mouth and clothes on your back and a place to pee in peace whenever you feel like it. Those aren't problems. That's called living like a king. Kenji, the fact that you're finally setting this woman straight, something somebody had to do, and I'm pretty sure that's why they put Kenji with her, but I am loving the fact that he finally did it. I know I'm still stuck on this chapter, but it's just the fact that Kenji finally fully went in. Like, I stopped reading when I got to that part that I just narrated, but the fact that he literally like sat here and told her, stop crying, stop sitting in the dark counting out all your individual feelings about how sad and lonely you are. Wake up. You're not the only person in the world who doesn't want to get out of bed in the morning. You're not the only person with daddy issues and severely screwed up DNA. You can be whoever the hell you want to be now. You're not... I don't want to say the next words because they're cuss words, but... Page 146 and 147 popped off, and I think in the first book I didn't really like Kenji, and I didn't trust him because I thought he had ulterior motives, and he did. The fact that somebody finally set her straight, that should have been Adam. If you're her significant other, you need to set your woman straight. I'm sorry, but for me, it's like, if I'm acting shitty, I need my man to tell me like, hey, what's wrong, because we can't keep doing this. And the fact that Adam didn't do that, I was like, Granted, okay, Adam was going through stuff on his own. I get it, but now I'm sitting here like wanting to read this book even more. I just got to a part where they found out, spoiler warning, where they found out that the like supreme commander for their zone, aka Warner's dad, is in town. And not only that, he took some people hostage and he wants Juliet. And I was like, oh, that is a part of the book that I'm in, and I'm like, as you can tell, I'm interested. I just haven't been able to pick it up because of like life and schoolwork. It has been a couple of days, and I know in like a previous vlog I had said that I wanted to finish like Unravel Me in a week. No, that did not happen. It still hasn't happened. Like, I'm still in the book, but I haven't finished it, which is what sucks, right? But I have gotten further into the book, and now it's kind of like my moment to say my thoughts. Now there will be spoilers up ahead, so if you don't want that, go ahead and skip forward. But I am currently still on Unravel Me, you know, the girly. So currently I'm on page 258 of the book. Also, I kind of love the floppiness of it. And I did train my spine of my book beforehand because I hate cracking the spines of my book. So that's just kind of like a little bit of a side note. But can we talk about the ending of chapter 38? Okay, first of all, the fact that Juliet had the Supreme Commander at her feet and could have done away with him, and she didn't. I mean, okay, the fact that Kenji stopped her, she was fully ready to do it. But the fact that the Supreme Commander is Adam's dad as well, that was not like a plot twist that I was expecting. It was not. I was speechless, gagged, fucking jaw on the floor. Like, so does that mean, like, obviously it means that Adam and Warner are brothers, but now Juliet is gonna have this whole issue where she's like, honestly, she's only been thinking about Warner. She hasn't really even been thinking about Adam like that, even though she broke up with him and broke his heart. But she's really just been thinking like about Warner, like his smile and his perfect blonde hair and his blue eyes. And it's like, okay, I've read that so many times in the book, it's like ingrained in my brain. But now she'll have all three of them at Omega Point, and I'm just like, what you gonna do, boo? Like, what is gonna happen here? And honestly, also the fact that she had that man like begging for his life when he was sitting there talking smack, like, oh, this little girl ain't gonna do nothing to me. Really? She laid you out, as she should. I'm really confused though why Kenji wouldn't let her kill him. And also the fact that Warner was sitting there pleading for her life, like, Dad, no, please don't kill her. But then when it actually came down to it, when he was about to kill her and Warner did nothing about it, he's like, I'll shoot you, I swear, but did nothing, crumbled to the ground and did nothing. I was like, I don't know, Warner. I've been seeing all over Miss TikTok that you like book boyfriend, that you did all of this for Juliet, but where is it? I haven't seen it. I mean, okay, I know I'm in book 2, but where is it? Where is all that defensiveness? Where is, don't spoil it for me. Okay, like I said, I'm in book 2. I probably will continue reading the series. It does have me intrigued. I don't think this book right now is a 5 stars for me. I'm leaning more to the 3.5 4-star range because I'm enjoying it. I'm picking it back up, obviously, and I'm like wanting to read it. It's just school is getting in the way. I do only have like 2 more weeks left of summer school, and then 2 more weeks left of summer classes, and then after that I'll have like a month off, and you best believe we gonna get some reading done. But yeah, that's the part that I just passed in the book. And now we're kind of hearing about like Adam's story, about like what happened, like how is that his dad and how his dad treated him. First of all, I hate abusive I hate abusive people like that. Yeah, so now we're hearing that part of the story, and Warner is still knocked out. I was about to say, did he even get hit? No, it was the explosion and then he crumbled to the ground. Exact words. It's kind of weak. I don't know. Warner's not getting my fancy right now, okay? Like, I still want Juliet to be with Adam, even though it'll literally kill him. But now it also makes sense why Warner can touch her and Adam can touch her. And I'm wondering if Warner has the same power that Adam has, or if he's just completely immune to her. But then I wonder if the dad, aka the Supreme Commander, has that power as well. Because if they have that power, it most likely came from him or the mom. But it most likely, also came from him. And so I feel like the tides and the turns are gonna table if he finds out that he has the same power to touch Juliet. Because this man is coming out for blood after she done shot his 2 legs. Anyways, that's a little mini update right now. I'm really enjoying the book. I'm at 259. I think the book has like 440 pages. So yeah, I'm literally about halfway. And I will be finishing this book before the end of June. Mark my words. I don't know if it's a couple days later, but some time has passed and I have made some progress into reading Unravel Me. Currently, I'm at chapter 48 on page 292, so I'm definitely a little bit over halfway through the book. And man, crazy stuff is happening. Not crazy, like kind of like how, when you get to the conclusion or closer to the conclusion of a book and it starts like popping off. It's like boom, 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 boom. Not there yet. We're not there yet. Spoilers ahead. We just passed the part where they actually captured Warner. It's crazy. And he's like so into Juliet, and I'm just like, man, like, don't get me wrong, the stuff that he says to her, I'm trying to figure out if it's romantic or obsessive. Because it's like, you sit there, and when I was reading it, I was like, man, I wish somebody said that to me. But then I'm like, whoa, that's kind of creepy that you're kind of obsessing that hard. But let me read this little part to you, because I was like, ooh, I was reading this like last night, maybe at, I don't know, 2 o'clock in the morning, and I was sitting there like, ooh. My husband also wanted to like go to sleep, and I was like, 2 more pages, please, just 2 more pages. I'm almost done with this chapter, like literally, I'm almost done. Juliet is talking to Adam. For context, he's declaring his love to her again because, she's broken up with him. Things that happen in the book, I don't want to spoil too much, but yeah, she's broken up with him. And Warner passes by and he sees them having this whole interaction and says, "You're so lovely when you're blushing." Warner says to me, "But I really wish you wouldn't waste your affections on someone who has to beg for your love." Then he cocks his head at Adam and says, "How sad for you. This must be terribly embarrassing." The fact that this man is going to sit here and roast this man and kick him while he is down, and like, okay, maybe Warner doesn't know yet that they're brothers, but like the fact that you gonna kick this man while he's down, they're literally like crying, like having this whole fit, and then you go and sit there and hit on his woman and then turn around and kick him while he's down. That's crazy. This man's crazy. So my sister is currently running errands, and so what better opportunity is it than to read my book? Now, I did finally, and I do mean finally, cross the 300 page mark. I'm actually currently on 325, and excuse like all of the spoilers that have been going on previously. I'm really like learning how to do a reading vlog, since this is my first reading vlog that I've ever done. So I will be, like evolving my style of reading vlogs as time goes on. There's 2 parts of the book that I have crossed recently, and they just kind of shook me because, if you've read this book, Warner has been captured and is being held hostage, but he is being treated really well. And he's currently having more time to talk with Juliet because Juliet is supposed to interrogate him. And when Juliet utters 4 words to him, and it kind of almost destroys his whole world, when she literally says, "I don't hate you," and Warner seems to stop breathing. Like, the evolution of their actual friendship, or whatever we are going to call this in this book, is kind of intriguing, because I had read the novella that's prior to this one to get a little bit of Warner's standpoint, and I did relate with him a little bit more, and I can see why he is going to be becoming, her love interest. Thanks TikTok for spoiling that. But I'm really enjoying kind of the evolution of him, how he's slowly opening up and actually becoming more of his true self compared to his murderous self that he has to be because of his father. And in another part where he is talking to Juliet about the fact that he reads books, and Juliet, read books as well because she was, locked up in institutions for so long. I don't know why I read this line, and I've read it maybe 15 minutes ago, and it's still stuck in my head, and I feel like it's going to be stuck in my head for a while, if that makes sense. It says, so he's talking to Juliet about the Shakespeare line that kind of stuck to him, or technically 2 lines, where he says, "Hell is empty and all the devils are here." But then the line that he says that has been stuck in my mind ever since I read it is, "Books are easily destroyed, but words will live as long as people can remember them." And it immediately started making me think about the books that I've read and the lines that have stuck with me. And I'm dang, that is actually very true, because as long as somebody remembers a single line that anybody has ever said, that person's memory and or book will live on. And I was dude, I was not expecting this whole moment to transpire off of that one line. So I'm gonna get back to reading. Like I said, my goal is to finish this within this month, and it's currently June the 24th, because I want to make another video where I kind of do my half year reading wrap up, which is gonna be technically a short video. I only have 3 books that I will be reading in the first half of the year, one of them being this one if I finish it. But I wanted to also make that video into a kind of books that I am anticipating or wanting to be able to read before the end of the year. And I don't want to sit there and try to set myself a goal that I'm gonna read 20 books before the end of the year, because I know that's not gonna happen. I'm a slow reader, plus I'm a uni student. I literally have homework all day every day. For example, this week I literally have 18 assignments that I have to turn in before Sunday, and it's already Monday, and I'm not doing homework today because it's my niece's birthday. There's really not a lot of time to do reading during certain times of the year. So I think that in that one, I'm probably going to put like maybe 4 or 5 books that I really want to get to in this year. So make sure to keep an eye out for that video, and let's just go ahead and continue reading. I mean, I'd like to get through maybe another 40 pages today, since I'm not going to be doing any homework if I can. No, because why am I reading this book? Also, do you see how little of this book I have left? Like, look. I really pushed through. I'm currently on page 393, and man, there are things happening. As far as I know, there's no spice in this series at all, if I'm not wrong. So the fact that there's like this little, how would I say, like tension moment where you're like, man, I see that it's happening and I kind of want it to be happening to me. No, okay, stop. The way that I said that out loud and I'm immediately blushing. Hold on. Let me calm down for a second. But let me read you what this says. I want you, he says. I want all of you. I want you inside and out, and catching your breath and aching for me like I ache for you. It's never been a secret. I've never tried to hide that from you. I've never pretended I wanted anything less. I hit my head right there. I'm seeing this Warner appeal, okay? Like that whole situation where like the bad guy is the one that gets the girl. But I can't help but feel for Adam. Like Adam is just like, I'll work on it. I promise. I want you to be with me. Don't leave me. I love you. It's always been you. It will always be you. And I'm just like, Adam. Like, we want you to be the guy. Like, be the guy. But man, the things that Warner can do to Juliet that Adam cannot. I'm really on this fence. I need to finish reading this book, but I do have work tomorrow. But I need to try to finish reading this book so that it could like help me formulate an idea. Like, am I 100% Team Adam, or are we shifting to Team Warner? Wait, my cheeks are hurting. I'm blushing hard. I want so many things, he whispers. I want your mind, your strength. I want to be worth your time. His fingers graze the hem of my top and he says, I want this up. He tugs on the waist of my pants and says, I want these down. I think I'm Team Warner now. So I get. I literally feel the muscles in my cheeks like tensing up. I am blushing. I'm about to cry. Holy crap. I don't know if you can see me blushing. I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but my cheeks are tense. And I can tell you it's all because of Aaron Warner. This man has Juliet melting, and I am melting with her. Okay, I can tell you that the things that this man is saying to her. Can I also tell you when he's like, please, please, please don't shoot me for this, and then he kisses her? Like, sir, I don't think that's gonna happen anytime soon. I really think she's considering running away with him, because the one thing that Juliet has always wanted the most was to be able to be intimate and have that touch with somebody. It doesn't have to be like sexual touch, but just to be able to know that she has a partner that she can reach to and that can, you know, comfort her in any way, shape, or form. That's what she's like been missing, that human interaction. But it has to be close human interaction, because like she's been having human interaction with the people in Omega Point, but she hasn't had that close interaction, like that skin on skin interaction. Like she can't hold anybody's hand. She can't like playfully, you know, hit somebody. She'll kill them. They'll be gone. So
I want to know what happens with Adam. I want to know, because I don't know how she gonna say she love Adam, but then she all up on Warner. I mean, man's putting the moves on her, so I mean, I do kind of understand. But what happens with Adam?
I did it. I finally finished Unravel Me. And I say finally because it took me 3 weeks to finish it. And I wholeheartedly blame the fact, one, that I'm a slow reader, two, that I had so many assignments, and I'm still not done with school. I still have about like a week or two of my summer classes. And specifically, we're going into finals week. So I'm probably not going to start reading another book until after finals, just so that at that point I will have time to like fully delve into my book or dive into my book, because I know that in this book I was enjoying it. I'm not gonna say it's one of my 5-star reads. It's not. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, the book, did I enjoy it? Yes. Is it something that I'm gonna be like, I want to reread this one? No. If I had to give it a rating, I would probably say it's maybe into the 3.5 to 4-star range. Like, I enjoyed it enough to continue wanting to pick it up and finishing it, but I know that it's not a book that I'm gonna say like, I want to do a reread of this, and there were parts that completely like had me intrigued. Like, come on, that whole Warner and Juliet scene, man, that stuff had me melting. And I definitely don't want to spoil like the end of the book. I know I already did spoilers, but I hate when people spoil the endings. How do I feel about the ending? If I'm honest with you, I know that we all say that we hate cliffhangers, and there's a good reason, because a cliffhanger kind of like leaves you wanting more. And when it's a series that's not complete, you have to wait for it. I personally hate and love cliffhangers. I hate them because then I have to wait for the next book to come out. But in this case, like, I don't have to wait because I have the entire series. But I love cliffhangers because it leaves me wanting more. And there, in my opinion, was no cliffhanger in this book. It's kind of like it ended. Okay, she did a thing. Cool. And now it's like, there's no urgency for me to go and say, I'm gonna go pick up the next book immediately. And so then that's why I'm kind of like have a love-hate relationship with cliffhangers, because there isn't one in this one, in my opinion. And now I don't really have an urgency to pick up the next one. I'm actually gonna read like a different book. I think the next book I'm gonna read specifically is going to be starting the Zodiac Academy, like the very first book. The reason why is because I've had this book for a while now, okay? I have a love-hate relationship for shiny covers. I think it just has to be done right. And I love the shiny covers of this book. Like, I love it. And then I saw that she's releasing new covers of the entire series, and if I'm not wrong, they're going to be matte. And I'm like, well, now I need to know if I even like these series, because if I do like the series, then I need to pick up all of the rest of the books in this cover, like in the original covers. Now, going back to Unravel Me, don't hate me for it. If this book is your book, like you gave it a 5 stars and it resonated with you, I'm happy for you. But for me, Juliet was annoying AF at the beginning. Granted, she has all this trauma that she's working through, and I'm not hating her for it, but I'm just saying, girl, you are a boss ass B, okay? Like, you could almost shatter the world if you wanted to. And this whole like, I'm not good enough, and this and that, and I know it stems from her trauma, but that was kind of annoying for me. It was. And then the whole thing with like Adam and Warner, where she's like, I love Adam, with words, okay? Pay attention. She says it with words, I love Adam, but her actions show she loves Warner. And everything that she did to protect Warner after the fact, and the fact that she almost, had with him, I feel like she's in love with the idea of Adam, kind of like because he was her first boyfriend and he was the first one to make promises to her, but she is in love with Warner. She is like that. That's what it is. I do want to get to the next one, in this year, because I know that a lot of people said the third one is where it starts to get really good, and I'm pretty sure that it has to do all with Warner, because the literal title of the next book is Ignite Me, and that is Warner's tattoo, Ignite. So it makes sense if I make from one leap to the next. I would say, if I'm not wrong, this book is YA, right? So I know that they're not going to go into any explicit content. The spiciness between Juliet and Warner in that one scene surprised me, because I was like, wait, am I reading a YA book? And the reason why I also say it is because my niece was like, hey, can I read that book you're reading? And I was like, oh, it's YA. Like, yeah, you'd have to start from the first book, but you can read like this series because it's YA. And then after I read that scene, I was like, I don't think I can let her read that. Like, I don't think I can let her read it. I am going to be doing a reading vlog for Zodiac Academy. I have also been posting a lot on my social medias. There's a link down below in the description where you can actually see every single link towards all of my social medias. I am also going to be doing another video where I kind of talk about the books that I read in the first half of the year. There's only 3. There's not a lot because, like I said, I just really got back into reading, but I am going to do kind of like my next 6-month hopefuls, aka the books that I want to read in the next 6 months. Thank you so much for watching this reading vlog. I know it might feel like it's all over the place. I'm still like figuring out my reading vlog recording style, if that makes sense. I'm going to try to do my reading vlogs where I do less spoilers, but I will be interjecting quotes here and there that resonated with me in the book. So I hope that that's not considered a spoiler, even though it might be. I definitely won't put any quotes that happen in like the later towards the end part of the books, because I don't want to spoil anything that happens in the ends. Make sure you subscribe, make sure you like and comment. Let me know in the comments down below, have you read Unravel Me or the Shatter Me series? How did you feel about this book specifically? Also, have you read the Zodiac Academy series, and how did you feel about that series specifically as well? I'm a little intimidated going into Zodiac Academy because I don't know how many books total are in this specific series. I know that there are other series in the same world, but thank you so much for clicking on this video, and we'll see you in the next one.